Check. Mikey, check. Let's do.
There's something I gotta tell you.
Yep.
Cause I know that
Welcome to the Keep It A Buck. Welcome to the Keep It A Buck.
No, I ain't tripping on your
Yeah.
attention, cause that shit's tight. But you gotta pay tonight.
90s baby, let it rock.
I know you wanna get paid tonight, but I'm tryna get paid tonight. We ain't even gotta fuss and fight. Just hit me right, song alright. I know you wanna get in bed with me, but you gotta come correctly.
Some of y'all wasn't outside yet. Y'all don't remember this. Let's go.
I hope you can feel me.
Why?
When I say pay before you play with me. Wanna taste this, but it's priceless.
Word.
It might be something you ain't never done before, but I'm
Lil Jon was heating the streets up. Every track back then. Yeah. But what, shawty? Why?
Calling nobody to the bedroom. Calling nobody. I see that look in your eye. I know just what it's saying.
I see the look. I know what time it is. I read faces. Facts about me back in Raspberries.
Every Thursday night, same shit, same bottle service. 30 niggas in a section, making bitches nervous. When it could be me and you together like weaving glue.
Oh.
Hold up, is that still a thing?
Yeah.
Calling nobody's to the
Let's go, Train. If y'all went on this album, this is one of the best albums of the year.
Calling nobody. I'm calling nobody's to the bedroom. I'm calling nobody's. I know all the troubles. Down with all the troubles. I'm the one you see before the club, and the one you come from after. Baby, calling nobody's to the bedroom.
Break it down.
Calling nobody.
Yeah.
So come and fix your life.
Yeah.
Till the morning light.
Yeah. Niggas is lucky I never got in the stew. Let me in the stew. Let me tear the stew up. Tell me I'm going to the stew tonight. What up? Welcome to the Keep It A Buck podcast. I'm your host, Saani. I want to first and foremost, I'd like to thank my listeners, my viewership from Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, YouTube, however you consuming the podcast. We appreciate you, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. And if it's your first time tuning in, welcome. Keep It A Buck podcast is about relationships, black men's emotions, God, self-awareness, and black women's value within our culture. Because I don't think y'all value them enough. And y'all know how we get down. What's good? How y'all doing? What was it? Speak up. I didn't hear you. How y'all doing? What happened? The weekend just passed. What happened? Oh, somebody owed me a story. I said something great was going to happen for somebody. And I talked to a couple people. I need to dig back up and look and see what's going on with that. But somebody owed me a story of greatness. Matter of fact, you can just email me down here. Email me what happened to you this weekend, because I know something great happened this weekend. Me, I'm Gucci. I am good, man. I had a field weekend. I had a lot of events to do. I was tired, but I am good, man. Thank y'all for asking. Appreciate you. See, that's why you keep it a buck, man. Where we gonna go to? Yeah. You know we getting down. You play too much, man. You know what I'm saying? Why you do that? You play too much. It's a certain level of playing where you just gotta stop. You play too much. You play too much is about when you went too far. Some of you did that was too far. You just kept doing it. And me, I've heard that most of my life. You play too much. So I'm gonna break it down and give y'all another story. You play too much. In 2009, me and a group of my conglomerates, me and my friends went to Miami for Memorial Day. Chill. This was before it got too crazy. You know what I mean? For real. This was fun. This was before it got too crazy. You know what I mean? But we went down there, and one of our homeboys who went with us, we hadn't really hung with him that much on some occasions, but we really hadn't hugged with him that much. And I'll just say this: he's not used to getting as much attention from the females as maybe we were, right? So anyway, he go down to Miami with us, and he learned like, yo, these niggas know how to party. Like they got the chicks, like they cool, but like yeah, like any opportunity I get to hang with them, I'm hanging with these niggas. So we make it back to Flint, and one of the guys who I went down there with was my roommate or whatever, and we used to have people over or whatever. And the young man who I'm talking about who went on the trip with us, I used to call him every weekend. Every single weekend I would call him, and it would go like this. Hey, yeah, what's good? What you got up? My work? Okay. Well, I'm having a party this weekend. It's gonna be some lovely ladies. Lovely ladies. They're gonna be looking for company. They're just gonna be looking for a good time. Are you free? And he would say this every time. Hell yeah, I'm free. Yeah, when? Hell yeah, I'm free. And in the middle of him saying that, I would say this. I'm joking, dog. I know you're free. He was free all the time. But every weekend, I hit him up like it was something new. And I'm gonna give y'all a 2-for-1 on why you do that. This is coming from my homeboy Chris. One time, my homeboy Chris was working as a dishwasher. I don't know if y'all familiar with the restaurant industry, but they just put all your plates through a conveyor belt with really hot water or whatever. They spray them off first with the hot water, then bring it through the machine. So it's a 2-person operation. Well, it was. I don't know no more. It's a 2-person operation. So he got the hose, right? And he's spraying off the dishes, but the machine is broke. Got to be fixed. So his partner, my homie, 19 at the time, 50-year-old dude back there with him. Partner opened it up. You know what I'm saying? He taking something out that need to be taken out of the machine. My homie couldn't resist. He took the power washer. I'm telling y'all, the water got to be 100-some degrees. I don't know. Right before it caused a burn. But anyway, when my man went into the machine to fix it, his crack was out and my homeboy couldn't resist. Turn right quick. Sprayed his crack. My man came up. You know when you hit a kid so hard in the back, when they get in the whooping, they don't make no noise. That's how bad it hurt. After he got his pain out, he said this. Young blood, why you do that, young blood? Hey, you should have drop kicked my homeboy in the face, man. You don't spray boiling hot water down somebody's butt crack, man. I don't care how funny it is. Well, nah, then this moment wouldn't happen. So if you get that opportunity, make sure that you do that. If somebody leave they crack out in front of you, it's overseas. By the way, crack is not sexy. I'm talking to ladies too. You know what I'm saying? Or whoever came up with James. Just crack, that's not sexy. Crack ain't sexy. Y'all be taking stuff and just running with it. Ass crack ain't sexy, dog. The whole thing, I get it. But just the crack, you see your crack? Yeah, like, you gotta put those jeans up. It's not sexy, y'all. All right. Let's get into today's subject matter. And this one I stumbled up on. I was actually having a real conversation with somebody, and I said, dang. Well, maybe it's the person we was talking about, maybe it's not necessarily their fault, you know? And I got to thinking. So today's topic is about cheating, and specifically, can cheating be an addiction? That's what I want to know. Can cheating be an addiction? Before y'all fly off the hinges, and usually the people who've been cheated on the most gonna say no. And then maybe some people who have realized, you know what? A lot of people will probably say no, because if I'm a serial cheater, a chronic cheater, then I probably, and yeah, if I'm the addict, then I don't think they have a problem. But it's not, is cheating an addiction? The question is, can cheating be an addiction? What is an addiction, you ask? You know what? I just happen to have it right here, my baby. An addiction. Let's go through it. Condition in which a person engages in the use of a substance or in a behavior for which the rewarding effects provide a compelling incentive to repeatedly pursue the behavior despite detrimental consequences. I'm going to run it back. addiction, condition in which a person engages in the use of substance or in behavior for which the rewarding effects provide a compelling incentive to repeatedly pursue the behavior despite detrimental consequences. That is an addiction. So do you have an addiction? My homeboy used to say all the time, we all got an addiction. And I used to fight it like, nah, nigga, don't put that on me. But I think we all got an addiction. But do you have that addiction? Cheating? The behavior where it's a rewarding effect, providing compelling incentive to repeatedly pursue the behavior despite detrimental consequences. So when we talking about can sex be an addiction? All right, let's break it down. So the behavior, the use, condition in which a person engages in the behavior for which the rewarding effects. So rewarding. What's the reward of cheating? We need to figure that out. If we're going to categorize somebody and put them into this state of cheating, we need to know what is the reward of cheating. And I got to thinking, okay, so what can the reward be? But it can't be sex, right? Unless you're not getting sex at home, then okay, and that's reward. But I don't. Now you could be not getting sex at home and cheating and be addicted to cheating, but I think that's a whole nother episode if you're not getting sex at home. I don't know if you're cheating because of addiction. You know what I'm saying? So what's the reward? And if it's not that instance, then it can't be sex because you got that at the crib, right? So what's the reward? If you're addicted to it, what is the reward? Or matter of fact, if you don't think you're addicted to it, what's the reward? If you having sex at the crib, and then you go out and have sex with somebody else cheating, what's your reward? And I'm talking to those who at this juncture probably think that they do not have an addiction. And let me preface this, and I should have prefaced this prior. When I say cheating, I think anybody can make a mistake. And I know that term is overused, and I don't say that to minimize if somebody cheats on somebody. But I am saying that we all human, and I am saying that we have to go through growth. Some experience the maturation process before others do. I'm talking about serial cheaters. If it's an instance where your husband, your wife, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, they stepped out on you, you need to evaluate that separately. Have your evaluation with that and then move forward how you think is best for you to move forward from that. But I do think a solo event could be a solo event and not attributed to an addiction or a necessary problem. Okay? So when we talking about cheating here, we talking about a serial cheater. Somebody who cheats all the time. All right, and so yeah, what's the incentive? Why are you doing it? Why are you cheating? All right, and I would say when you ask somebody why are you cheating, if you got to ask yourself if you're cheating and you got to ask yourself why you cheating, start with you and your desires first before you point the finger at somebody else from what they're not doing, right? Because the government and white people don't treat us well at all, and they blatantly in our face just disrespect us. But we don't go and shooting them niggas in the head. We don't go letting off with the K like we go letting off with the K in the hood. We don't do that, right? What's the incentive, right? because it can't be if you're cheating. Oh, I got lost, man. So the incentive for cheating is what? Is what I'm trying to get down to. Look within. Before you start pointing fingers at somebody else, look within. All right, what am I not doing? Or what type of gratification am I looking for? What's driving me to do this? Oh, and my point about the government and with the case and all that. Just because somebody else does something, that doesn't make you do anything. So somebody else does something and that gives you cause to make a decision, right? So we all faced with decisions that happen with the government, with white people them treating us however we treat us. Now we got a decision because if I got the gun to shoot homie up the block, I got the gun to shoot whoever I want to. Honestly, it's very few people of levels where you can't get to them if you want to. But that's not what this podcast is about. What I'm saying is it's about decisions. we get to areas, we get to situations, and they force us to make decisions. So why are we making that decision? Like I said, if you're a cheater or somebody who cheats a lot and suffers from this, why are you making that decision? And like I said, look within first. Well, I want this. You gotta feel it's got to be a want, or if you want to go to the fundamental state of need, and a man needs to release, whatever you want to say, but it has to be a reason. So if you're cheating, look for why you're doing it, and do not point the finger. Point the finger last. From what she's not doing, what he's not doing, that led you there, because it's a decision, and then you made the decision to do something wrong. And if that happens one time, like I said, we are all human. I don't encourage it, and you still are wrong, and your partner has every right to leave you if they feel need be, for sure. But if you keep doing it, that's where we get into this conversation, whether cheating can be an addiction. And I just want to, I don't even know if this is necessarily goes with the addiction question. But I'm curious, what is the market value of pussy? Not necessarily on a dollar amount, but just what it means to us, to guys, where I guess girls, to anybody getting pussy. What is the value? And has that value ever went up, down, since the beginning of time? Or let's just talk about in our culture. Has that value ever went up, down in any way? Has it ever been worth more? Has it ever languished? Has it ever been in doubt? What is the value? I feel like the value of pussy, for me, the value of pussy was instituted to me and taught to me without me even having the opportunity to want to figure out the value myself, right? It's like being rich, right? So we all want to be rich when we're young. But why? Why we want to be rich? You 7, 8 years old, kids say that all the time. Y'all want to be rich. Yeah, I want this, I want that. They don't even understand that when you're not rich, that the confines of what you can do is lesser in the bills that's being paid. So they really don't even understand the benefits of it, of being rich, right? And they don't even know what rich is, but they know that they want to be rich. Why? How did that happen? That was something that was instilled to us. And I think it's even worse with pussy. And of course, I'm talking about in my community, in my culture. Before I ever felt a vagina, I knew it felt good. It felt amazing. I knew that moment was so sacred and so dope and something that I had to get. And not only it's like, so with other things, and it's so sacred, it's something that you had to get. Once you reach that pinnacle, it's like, I reached it. Yes, I won an NBA championship. Woo! I'm so elated. I've been working all my life to win this NBA championship. Boom. Now, if I go and I get more, that's cool. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I want to win more. But I did get that goal of becoming an NBA champion. But once you get pussy, it's like you have to get more. It's like you don't get pussy and then feel like, yes, I conquered it. Because the culture ain't going to let you feel like you conquered it. The term, he don't get no pussy, means that he doesn't sleep with multiple people, or he hasn't slept with multiple people in a certain time frame to make others feel like he gets it. He don't get no pussy. So, I've had pussy. Okay, so what's the worth? Okay, I get it. And this is just me talking, y'all. I don't care how y'all feel. I was gonna say, don't flame me, but pussy don't feel that good. It don't. It's cool. Now, pussy feels good. Pussy feels good. Do not get me wrong. But I'm saying, when I say that good, I just want us to equate it, right? How do we quantify pussy? For me, this is just something, if I can just use the term and for the verses right quick. I would take a great nap over a great pussy 10 out of 10 times. 10 out of 10 times. Honestly, I feel like my want and need for sleep and to be refreshed is better for me. I value that more than I value pussy. Now, if you're in a relationship, even if you're in a relationship, I was about to say, if you're not in a relationship, you got to add in what else it takes to get to that point, to sleep with somebody. I'm not even going to go into definitely not the religious standpoint of it. But I will say we've normalized having sex so much that, okay, so we're undervaluing the value and consequences of sex, but we're overvaluing pussy. And girls are starting to do it now with I just don't want to say dick like that. With male genitalia. Yeah, with dick. Girls are starting to do it now. But when we have sex with each other, you are entering or letting another human being enter you, right? And let's not, well, I don't even have to get started on unprotected sex. But like you're sharing, you like kind of becoming one. Yeah, you're becoming one in the physical. Think about it. What actions can you have with somebody? Like, and even for you to get a disease from somebody else other than sex, that's got to be a lot of bodily fluids exchange and involved. But what are the actions can you come together? You come together, you do this action, and then you can produce something like a child or a disease. Like, it's a bunch of stuff. What other things can happen that easy? That easy, right? You entering somebody for however long. It ain't got to be, and then, listen, 10 minutes is a long time in the bedroom. All right? I'm tired of people fronting, okay? And then, you know what? I don't care if you front or not or what you... Listen, for me, I don't want to go 30 minutes. I don't want to go 30 minutes. I don't want to go a couple rounds. I don't want to go back to back to back. No, I'm cool. What is the goal? What's the goal? If the goal is to climax, once I've done that, I'm good. I got the goal. What I'm gonna go 30 minutes for? It's only 7 moves. The rest of them are all variations. But I digress. Let me not get off topic. But the value of pussy, like I said, I definitely would much rather have a great nap over great pussy. It's just, and then some of y'all we all so brainwashed every time. Not every time. Yeah, most times I talk to a guy about this and I say something about it. Even girls, it's everybody. Everybody's brainwashed into, have you ever sat and thought about how good sex feels? Like, you already know from people telling you, and you already had that mindset. And of course, you probably had some sex that felt good. But have you ever really stopped to think, okay, how good does this feel to me? How long can I go without this feeling? Because I guarantee you start putting it in perspective. You can go without sex longer than you can go with being hungry. So when you start trying to quantify it, well, how important is it to me? How good does it really feel to me? Does sex feel as good as triumph? Does sex feel as good as trying for something you really want to do? Does sex feel as good as relaxation? Does sex feel as good as a group of people being proud of you? Does sex feel as good as you being proud of yourself? Does sex feel that good? What is it really worth? Right? I don't think we've ever asked ourselves that. How good does it really feel? I just think we all need to ask ourselves that, because we get into situations where the media and whoever we're around just influence us to the point where we think something is that automatic. And that ain't cool. So let's talk about, if sex is an addiction, I want to talk about the other person, right? So the other person who, I'm not sex and addiction, my apologies, it's cheating and addiction. And I want to talk about the other person involved in the cheating, from a serial cheater. And I want to say, if you stay with that person or you staying around with that person, it's like so if we talk about addictions, imagine somebody on crack. It would be hard for that person, a crackhead, to get off crack if they were staying in a crack house. Right? I mean, I'm not no genius or no drug dealer. I'm not no Pablo Escobar, baby. I'm not Joe. I'm not no Pablo Escobar. You know? I don't know. You know? I don't know. You know? You say. I say. I'm no Pablo Escobar. But I think somebody's on crack. You put them in a crack house, they're gonna have a hard time getting off crack. So the spouse whom accepts or deals with this behavior is providing the optimal environment for the addict to thrive in. So what that means is, this subject came about because somebody who I know and somebody who we know is a serial cheater, and the person who they are with is aware of this. from even if they've had instances where they've broken up, but just over the years, they're aware that this person is a serial cheater. And my homeboy suggested, you know what? But that's what he need. He needs to live, you know what I'm saying, back with her, because that's where he can get some balance, you know what I'm saying? He can realize, like, that's where it's at. That's where he need to be. I'm like, what, nigga, what? What are you talking about? He don't need to be back in that. He don't need to go back to the bando, somewhere where it's allowed, somewhere where the crack is. And so she knows about it and she lets him back in to the house in efforts to maybe help him. All she doing is just making it easier for him access to that crack, or for it to normalize it. Cause if you stay with somebody and they come home and they behaving like they're on crack, I'm like, what the fuck going on? But if somebody's behaving like they're on crack in a bando in a crack house, it's normal. So if I'm this serial cheater and I know that you know that I'm a serial cheater, and then I see you keep trying to do things for me to get me out of that, I'm thriving in this environment. Because in my mind, let's go back to the definition. In my mind, repeatedly pursue the behavior despite of detrimental consequences. So in this addiction, I'm not really finding the consequences to be detrimental, because I'm not losing anything. I'm not losing my relationship. I'm not losing the place where I stay. I'm not losing somebody who I possibly love. So I'm not taking this to be an addiction because I'm not finding it detrimental. You feel me? I'm not finding the things that I'm doing detrimental. The woman that I love, she still see good in me. You know, she allows me to come back. So it must not be detrimental. Wrong. It is detrimental. And if you stand with somebody who you know is a serial cheater, and this happens, it happened way too much with, and I just don't understand why. And that's a whole nother podcast about the value of what's attached to the pussy, which is the girl, and how I think, because of what I was talking about earlier and the value that we put on pussy, girls totally lose value of themselves. I understand that we made it to a place where sex is in the society. I get that. But now to a point where a girl thinks she's got to put that in the whole plan and makeup of a man and meeting a man. When to sleep with him. And you sleep with whoever you want to sleep with, however soon you want to sleep with them. That's not what I'm saying. But I don't think that women are valuing you're the owner of the pussy, and don't use it as collateral. Pussy is not collateral, and nor is it necessarily a reward. Now if you are sexually active, it can be earned, I think, rather than it being a reward. When you go to work and you work 40 hours, you earn that money. So they pay you the money that you earn. So if you reach a certain level of intimacy with somebody and you want to be intimate, that's a level that y'all both earn together. But you're not buying it. You're not purchasing it. Like it's not a reward. And girls try to do that too much. Well, yeah, especially Valentine's Day or something like that. Nigga go out and spend $300, take you out, this and that, and then you put some lingerie on that you bought 6 months ago and give him some pussy. What? I was actually going to ask you to put that on Tuesday, back in January. You're like, what? That's what I get? That's not cool. But so, and then in the definition, when I use the word compelling, a behavior for which the rewarding effects provide compelling incentive. And compelling is powerfully irresistible. And if I'm staying with somebody who knows that I cheat and I'm a serial cheater, and they take me back for whatever efforts maybe it is, if I'm closer to this person, maybe I can get him to stop. Well, maybe I can treat him a little better. Maybe I can do that. You just making it compelling for me. Now it's powerfully irresistible for me to cheat. I cannot help but cheat. I do not find it detrimental. And I find the environment where I'm living in conducive to such. So if you stand with somebody, or you know what I'm saying, or you're staying with somebody, like you're in a relationship together, and you know that they're a serial cheater, you are just as much as a problem as them. You're not addicted to anything. You just do not have enough self-confidence. And so this is to all the serial cheaters. And I know a lot of my listeners are not a lot. I'm not gonna say a lot, but some of y'all are serial cheaters. I know people who are serial cheaters. I will say this. I do not hang with serial cheaters, regardless of the sex. Female, male. If you are a serial cheater, I do not fuck with you. I don't hang with you, bro. I can't. Because if it's not an addiction, now if you got an addiction, that's different. If somebody got an addiction, it's hard to tell somebody else, stop doing this. They got an addiction. Ah, man, like, he on crack. I hate him. I hate my uncle. Hey, man, he got an addiction. That's a little different, right? You know what I'm saying? But so for all the people who do it and don't think it's an addiction, this is why I'm not cool with you. I think you're disloyal. I think you're fake. I think you're an actor. I think you're a destroyer. And I think you are selfish. Because listen, if it's not addiction, I question your loyalty. I don't understand, regardless of the sex, right? And this is why I have so many female and male friends. It doesn't matter. I don't care. I don't care what your sex is. Regardless of the sex, loyalty is loyalty. So 9 times out of 10, if you're in a relationship with somebody, if you feel like you're in the wrong relationship, then you should leave. But if you're in a relationship with somebody, they do things for you. You do things for them. Y'all care for each other, right? So, and for a grown man to be in a relationship with somebody, now you're entering into the threshold of you have to be somewhat her protector. You don't have to be her provider because you're not married, but you do have to show those capabilities of being her provider. It's so much that has to go into that, and that's where your loyalty lies. All right, cool. We work on this. We got this road. So we got this road that we're working on together, and it's a two-way street with this loyalty thing, right? It's a two-way street. To be loyal to somebody, it's a two-way street because you want them to be loyal to you. It's very seldom we're loyal to something or somebody where we don't find that loyalty back given back to us, right? And reciprocity. It's supposed to reciprocate, right? So with loyalty, man, if you're in a relationship, you see that person and talk to that person more than anybody. Anybody. Think about that. If you're in a relationship, you see that person and talk to that person more than anybody in the world. Who could you owe more loyalty to? I feel like you got a girlfriend for 5-6 years. I'm your homeboy. Say I'm your homeboy for 3 years. We good. You ain't never did nothing to me, man. You ain't never done nothing to me. You ain't never been nothing but good to me. I hang out with you. We good. You know what I'm saying? We ain't never really had no issues like that. This would be, matter of fact, I talked about this last episode, relationships and confrontation. If I'm with somebody, a homeboy, you know what I'm saying? And then I learn like this nigga's a serial cheater. I'm either going to find a way to distance myself or I'm going to have a conversation with you in that conflict. Yo, why you doing this? Why you cheat? And then I'm going to let you be subjective. Right? I'm gonna sit and I'm gonna listen to you before I just down you and feel like that you don't have any loyalty. But I haven't got an answer yet from a serial cheater that would make me think, you know what? Yeah, I can fully trust this person. I can fully be loyal to this person. Because you've been in a relationship with somebody for this long. You smile in their face. If you could smile in her face, tell her what she wanna hear, sleep with her, pay bills with her, and have, like, especially if y'all got kids, have those type of responsibilities together. If you can do all that to somebody and then turn around and be disloyal to them, why I'm going to think you're going to be loyal to me? When push come to shove on what you really want. When you find something of value. And for you find that value in pussy. But if it's not an addiction, it's really not you finding that value in pussy. What you addicted to is being disloyal. What you're addicted to is being selfish. That's what you're addicted to. Oh, my bad. We talking about people who don't think that they're addicted. You disloyal. You're selfish. You're a destroyer. For you to sit there and tell somebody, like I said, you talk to them every day. They got to depend on you. Y'all got kids together, whatever the case may be. For you to sit there and be somebody in front of them and then run out the house and be somebody else? Nah, cuz. You mad disloyal. So how I know when I got to play on the floor with you, when it's money on the line, or we supposed to do this, I'm supposed to depend on you to be able to do this. You got that part, I got this part. How could I expect for you to be loyal to me? I'm just your homie. We don't pay no bills together. I'm just your homie. I ain't worried about your money. You ain't taking care of me. I'm just your homie. I ain't giving you no pussy. I ain't giving you nothing. You sleeping with that person. I'm just your homie. So why would I expect for you to be loyal to me rather before you would be loyal to her? And then a part of it is just that's how we was raised just have sex with as many girls as possible. But I'm talking about a grown person. And I'm not talking about somebody who cheats once. I'm talking about a serial cheater. You disloyal. And I can't rock with you, honestly. I just can't rock with you. And I think I posted this maybe a year ago. And of course, most of the guys was like, yo, I totally disagree. And the post was something to the along the lines of, if you're a serial cheater, if you continue to cheat on the person that you're with, then I can't trust you. I don't want to trust you. And that's just me, and I mean that. I know some people who are, other than that, than being a serial cheater, they're good people. But I'm uncomfortable around them. So you can be a totally good person. You can help out at the volunteer. You can be an inspirational speaker. You can be in church. You can do all those things. That's cool. And I'm not saying that you're a terrible person. I'm saying I'll be uncomfortable around you. Because I feel like some part of you is disloyal. I feel like some part of you is fake. I feel like some part of you is an actor. I feel like some part of you is a destroyer. I feel like some part of you is selfish. That you can have everything else going. That's cool. That's fine. But I cannot put a large stake into our relationship as friends. I can't do it based on the behavior that you've shown with someone whom you are supposed to love, trust, and more so be one with than we would ever. You should never love me like you love your spouse, somebody you're with. You should never love me or do for me more than you would do for them. You should never want to be. See, to be loyal is you have to want to be loyal, right? Loyalty doesn't just come with the package. Like, okay, we friends, not loyalty. Oh, now we boyfriend and girlfriend, loyalty. That's not how it is. It doesn't just come with the package. It's not automatic. You have to want to be loyal. Let me think. Is it possible to want to be loyal to somebody or something that does not have that same interest at hand? Yes. Is it smart? I would say no. I think certain parts of the military during certain times in our lives, I believe being loyal to the country and in that aspect, they would not be loyal. Matter of fact, a lot of the military, now that I think about it, just think about all the vets and how much as a society we really don't care or give them aid. You don't see it anymore because they probably, a lot of them died. But when I was younger, and people my age, you should remember this, a lot of Vietnam vets, right? Vietnam fuck people up. Like them the guys in the wheelchairs is with one leg and just like with the gray beard, the dirty beard, that's them. Like, first of all, Vietnam was a pointless and dumb war, if you don't know. And it was very violent. The Vietnamese did not care about nothing but U.S. just y'all get out of here. And I don't care if I gotta kill a bunch of us to kill a bunch of y'all to send y'all a point. But anyway, a bunch of people went to the military, and then when they got back after fighting for their country, the country showed them no loyalty. There was nothing just waiting for them. It happened in World War II too. But anyway, I don't think that you can want to be loyal to something if you know that they're not going to be loyal to you. Or I can't see you wanting to be loyal to an organization or something and you see that they are not going to be loyal to you. So I think it's a two-way street and you have to want to be loyal, right? And so to be loyal is to be loyal to something or somebody is to put that bond, that loyalty, that part of relationship is to put that above almost everything else, right? So to be loyal to your religion means that you won't do certain things, because of your religion. To be loyal to your job means that you won't talk to other companies in this manner because you're loyal to your job. Without letting them know, but when you're loyal to something, it's usually because it's a reciprocation, and it's because you want to. All right, well, I wanted to be loyal to this person because they're loyal to me. And then just to close it out, if you loyal to somebody who you don't think is loyal to you, then you're just a dummy. You're a dickhead. You're stupid. It's no other way I can put it. And I think I'm talking to you. You sitting there being loyal to somebody who has no interest in wanting to be loyal with you. Remember, you got to want to be loyal. So you sitting there being loyal to somebody in hopes that your loyalty will inspire that person to want to be loyal. And that ain't how it works. They gotta want to be loyal. So you right now, you listen to this and you thinking, and half of this podcast you've been thinking like, oh, is he talking about me? Yeah, I'm talking about you. What you doing, baby girl, is not gonna produce nobody loyal. You can't double your loyalty and expect to make up from somebody having no loyalty for you. It ain't gonna happen. And all the serial cheaters, the people who are serial cheaters, you are disloyal. And I'd be happy to have any of y'all on the podcast to prove me wrong. Call in, email me, do whatever you want to. But if you're a serial cheater, your loyalty is very low. You're disloyal. Point blank period. There's no other way around it. If you are a serial cheater, you are a disloyal person. Loyal people don't. So you can't be considered a loyal person and only be loyal to certain things, right? So you have to be loyal to everything that is loyal to you to be a loyal person, or I would say at least most of the things that are loyal to you. I don't have the time to think. Can something be loyal to you and then you not be loyal to it, and that be a positive situation? Probably some instances of schooling. Or somebody, or learning, where maybe somebody was trying to help us out, help us learn, and they were trying to be loyal to our growth, and we just weren't paying any attention. But that's bad, right? So you have to want to be loyal to something, and in order for you to want to be loyal to something, it has to be a reciprocity. It has to be reciprocal. So you're only loyal to things. You only want to be loyal to things that are loyal to you. You only want to be loyal to people who you find to be loyal to you. So, can cheating be an addiction? I absolutely do think cheating can be an addiction. Everybody who cheats does not have that addiction. But can cheating be an addiction? Yes, I think cheating can be an addiction. And in order for us to get rid of an addiction, there has to be some type of purge. There has to be some type of treatment of that behavior. And somebody who hasn't been being shown loyalty, I don't even think you're the person, right? So if you were in a situation where you were showing loyalty and that person wasn't showing loyalty to you, and they are addicted to cheating, I don't think you're the person to fix it. Sorry. And I know you want to, because you care about that person so much. You care more than anybody. You care for them more than they care for themselves. So you want to fix them so bad. But that's not your job. One, it's not your job. Two, you can't do it. You can't do it. You can't beckon loyalty from somebody. It won't happen. They gotta want to be loyal to you. That's it. Where I learn you niggas something. You know what I'm saying? Let me learn you. And this is U.S. history. And today's U.S. history is about Whitney Moore Young. 1921 in Lincoln Ridge, Kentucky, and he died in 1971. Whitney ran local branches of the National Urban League before becoming its president in 1961. But let's build there. He attended Kentucky State Industrial College, became a teacher, and he actually served in World War II, acting as a bridge between black and white servicemen. Stop. This is, let me see, he was born in 21. When was World War II? 30s, right? I think they're going to fry me. I think the 30s. So less than 100 years ago. So think about that. He served in World War II, acting as a bridge between black and white servicemen. So your only job is to conquer and stay alive. That's the only reason you over here, is to conquer and stay alive. And you worried about somebody else's pigmentation? The fact that really had to be something is crazy to me. Like, every time I do this U.S. history, I just get a little more grateful of, I guess, how far we've come, but scared, because it's like peeling back layers. So the more knowledgeable I became, of racism and where it derived from and its benefits and the tradition of it, the more it scares me, because now that the awareness of it, and like I say, how far we came, now it's kind of like a blinder. When you think you come so far, they just find different ways to blind you. The more and more you dig into anything, when you're having surgery, the more and more you dig, the more you have to worry about going wrong, or the more that you can miss more, right? So we doing open heart surgery. So you so concerned about the heart that you're not even worried about the muscles that you're going through or the nerves that you're going through and what can happen there. I just feel like the more and more we uncover, or the more it seems that we've made it further, the more menacing, I guess, the more menacing the racism can be. But I'm sorry. Back to Whitney Moore Young. He went on to earn his social work master's at the University of Minnesota. While working with the Urban League of St. Paul, he made strides in placing African Americans in previously white-only positions. So that was kind of his big thing, being able to get black people in the door. Right in the door, and to have these positions that they had never even seen before. He had a knack for convincing white businessmen to support the organization, right? The National Urban League. He even had influence on the White House, becoming an advisor to President Lyndon B. Johnson, and he wrote the Domestic Marshall Plan, which earned him the President's Medal of Freedom in 1968. Now that plan was actually used in highly touted. So, like I said, he ended up becoming an advisor for Lyndon B. Johnson, and his whole goal, what made me actually pick him, because it seems as if his whole thing and his whole goal was to just help other black people, help them get to a point where they had never gotten before. So I just felt like his goal was he just felt it necessary to raise his people up, and I admire that. So today at the Q the Buck podcast, Whitney Moore Young Jr., we salute you. Appreciate you for keeping it a buck. You heard? Now, back to Niecy's favorite segment. Love yourself, love somebody else. And if you're unfamiliar with this, every episode I'm gonna give you love yourself. We're gonna start with self, because I think self-preservation is key. You gotta love yourself first before you can love anybody else. That includes Jesus. I'm just telling you. That's what it is for me. That's how I feel. You gotta be able to be a healthy you mentally and physically to take care of anybody else, right? So don't even think about anybody else till you think about yourself. So love yourself, right? And today's love yourself is, why are you a good person? Like, have you actually thought about that? Like, dang, because people say I'm a good person all the time. Why? How you figure that? How you figure you're a good person, cuz? Because you got a conscience and you're a person? What makes you a good person? Why are you a good person? So write it down. And then once you write it down, tell somebody who doesn't know why that you're a good person, right? And if you do not know why you're a good person, make an effort to discover why you are a good person. That's not an easy question to answer though. So don't just breeze by it, and don't just think that it's gonna be simple, or don't just think that you're so good of a person that this is not for you. Because I know we ain't never wrote it down. So, you know what I mean? Even if you think you know it, you ain't never wrote it down. So why are you a good person? And I was going to actually freestyle it right now and tell y'all something about me. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to write it down. I'm going to tell y'all next episode why I'm a good person. I'm going to do it just like I want y'all to do. I need to do some searching, and I need to figure out why am I a good person. Because I've said I'm a good person plenty of times. Plenty of times I've said, hey man, I'm a good person. Why, Saani? Why you a good person? What make you so good of a person? Is everybody good? If you good, is everybody good? Why would you say that? I'm a good person. Why, cuz? So, if you know why, write it down. And when you write it down, tell somebody who don't know why. And you'd be surprised how many people that you're close to, that are around you, that don't know how you feel about yourself. And that's key. That's very key. Someone should know how you feel about yourself, especially somebody who's going to be around you and maybe can have to depend on you or have loyalty with. You have to have a stream of loyalty. So, for love yourself, figure out why you're great. Huh? Why you're a good person. And write it down. Write it down and then exclaim it. Start telling people. And if you don't know, it's cool. Look within and discover, oh, this is why I'm a good person. I didn't even realize that I was compassionate. Right? I just took that as everybody was doing it. But whatever the case may be, figure out why you're a good person. And then for to love somebody else, select the organization to align yourself with to begin to volunteer. And if you already got that, then pass it along and encourage others. We should all have 1 to 2 volunteer organization groups that we belong to or that we frequent. And I'm just point blank period, just out of true honesty, I have zero. I've done different things, but I don't have one that I belong to or one that's my favorite. I'm trying to get involved in one now, a couple to be honest. But we should all have 1 to 2 organizations that help others that's high on our priority list that we belong to. That they know, oh, I can depend on Saani. Saani usually come to these. Saani usually help. Saani usually donate. Saani usually bring his kids. Saani usually brings somebody else. So let's find some type of organization to help other people. Right? And if you got it, pass it along. You share everything else. You share what's funny. You share what makes you look good. You share what your kids did. Share something that helps somebody else. That's what I want us to do. And I know we can do it because we're great people. Because we're going to figure that out when I love ourselves part. I appreciate y'all one more time, man. Thank y'all for tuning into the Q-Buck Podcast. Y'all know what it is, man. Until next time, lay yourself, love somebody else. We out. You're...
Do you wanna be happy? I said, do you wanna be free? I said,